Good afternoon, everybody. I'm coming back with another TTM video for you guys today. It is Tuesday afternoon. Again, we're starting this week off really super slow, but hey, at least I got a success. This video is going to be like a two-part video. The first part, I'm going to do the TTM for those of you that are interested in that. The second part is I'm going to go over submitting to Beckett through me. I know a lot of you have expressed interest, and I told you guys that I would think about starting it up. So I'm gonna go over some information with you guys. Then I'm gonna see how I'm gonna try to gauge interest to see is it worth it for me to put the effort forward to do it or not. So we'll go from there. But like I said, I'll do that in the second part of the video. So I'm not making you guys bounce around and skip if that's not what you're interested in. So the TTM we got back today is a 404 success. Let me see if I can get it to, there we go. 404 success in 27 days coming out of North Texas, Dallas, Texas. This is a repeat for me. I've gotten this person before, so nothing new. It's Mr. Del Harris, head NBA coach. So we got him on this 90-91 hoops when he was with the Bucks. Then we got him on this 1990-91 Skybox, again with the Bucks. Followed it up with one of my 1000 90-91 hoops cards of him. So we got two there. And then he signed the index card for us, which is awesome of Mr. Harris. So again, a 404 success in 27 days. Can't ask for too much more than that. But again, yeah, wanted to let you guys know that yesterday I ended up sending out a total of 52. I knew it would be around 50. I sent out 52 more requests. So that puts me at almost 500 outstanding requests right now. And I would like for any one of those 100 or 200 to come back anytime here. So anyways, I did send out another 52 yesterday. So that is that. Now moving on to Beckett's submission. So I'm sure it's the same with PSA and any other company that takes autograph cards. So there's many different options and there's many different choices depending on what you want done. Do you just want it authenticated? Do you want it encapsulated? Do you want it graded? Just a lot of different things. So I tried to make a form, this is just thrown together. I tried to make a form that's concise and clear because first things first, I would need to get some information from you guys. It's not like submitting an order for grading where it's just like X number of cards is X price per card and that's it. Like with authentication, there's differences all over the place depending on do you want the card graded as well as authenticated? Do you want, for instance, a autographed baseball authenticated and encapsulated? It depends on who you're sending in. Let's say you're sending in Del Harris, for instance, since that's who I got back. It's probably $20 a card. Say like you're sending in somebody like Babe Ruth, it's going to be a lot more than that. So it depends on who you're sending in for the cost. So what I figured the easiest thing to do would be is to create a list, a page, where if you're interested, you could fill it out, send it to me. That way I could look it over and I would be able to know the information you're looking for, what your order looks like, and be able to get back to you with what the cost is probably going to be for it. Ahead of time, before you send anything to me, before we move forward. That way we're not wasting time. Because if the order ends up, say in your mind you're thinking like $100 and for what you did it was like $200, and you'd be like, forget it, then that way we're not wasting anybody's time. So I figured we would start with the form. So let me show you the form. It's, I tried to make it as easy and generic as I could. So I just have this, I just put Brandon's Beckett authentication encapsulation order. So the first step is, do you just want the item authenticated or encapsulated? I will tell you that if we're talking like cards, index cards, photos, magazines, that sort of stuff, There really isn't a price difference between authentication and encapsulation, unless the item is bigger than 5 by 7. 5 by 7, you have to add on another $10 because the case is a lot bigger. But then again, you may just want it encapsulated so that it's protected. I prefer encapsulation myself, but some of you may just want it authenticated, and that's fine. With the authentication, they go a little bit a different route, and I'll go over that with you guys. So then at the top, of course, I would need name, address, city, state, zip, phone, and email. That way I know who I'm dealing with, how I can contact you, and the address I would be mailing the items back to once I got them. So the list is here. So I have 25 things listed, boxes listed. Obviously, if you want to send more, you can send more. It's not limited to 25. That's just where I stopped it so that it would look decent on the page. So quantity. So quantity is probably most likely going to be 1 all the time. But say you have 2 1990 Goose Gossage cards you want to send in. So obviously you're sending in 2 of them, so you put a quantity of 2. Anything else would probably be just 1. Item would be like whether it's a card, a photo, a ticket, a magazine or program, whatever the item is. The signer or signers, this is where you would put who signed the item. This is what's going to determine the authentication fee, because the authentication fee is based solely off of the autographed person. The next stuff is all extras you can do. So if you want a letter upgrade, which it's like a 8 by 10 or 8.5 by 11 or whatever the paper size is, it's a full letter. I think they even include a photo of your item, and it's like another certificate of authenticity on top of the sticker you normally get. If you'd want a letter upgrade, and you can get this with authentication or encapsulation, doesn't matter, it's $10 extra. If you want your autograph card to have the autograph graded only, that's $10 or more. Again, it depends on who autographed it. So if it's like Babe Ruth and you want the autograph graded, it's going to be more than $10. And this is where the information you give me will let me help find out what your total would actually be, if you chose to get the autograph graded. I've never graded an autograph. I'm just more concerned about whether it's authentic or not. Card grading, this is if you want to also have your card graded. So for instance, you send in, I'll keep using Del Harris. For instance, you send in Del Harris, you want your card authenticated, it comes back, yeah, it's Del Harris, it's legit. You want the autograph graded, okay, well, his signature went off the card, so it's going to grade as a 9 for the autograph. But then I also want the card graded, so the corners are dinged, the card's a little bent up, it's going to get a 6. So card grading is $20 per card extra. And so for these, you just let me know Y for yes and for no if you wanted it. Baseball encapsulation is cool, and I would like to do it, and it probably depends on what ball you're sending in, but it could be a little bit pricey. It's $30 a piece per ball, and what it is it has like a nice little kind of globe-looking case. It's completely encased in plastic, and it has like a little label around the front of the ball there at the bottom, so it doesn't take away from the signature. And it kind of gives you information on who signed it. It says authentic. Same thing as a card would say on the label. It says on the baseball encapsulation right at the bottom. They look really nice, but it is $30 extra. If you do authentication, so this is only for authentication, they have the sticker. You can either have them put it on the item or not. And so if you want authentication only, you would have to let me know if you'd want the label put on the item or not. Usually when they put it on the item, I think they try to put it on the back, if possible. But you'd have to let me know. That's no cost. That's just where you want the label, on the item or off the item. You'd also have to give declared value, because declared value will determine how much insurance would need to be purchased on the order. So I don't know if I went over this too quickly or not, but the things I would have to have would be quantity, item, signer. These are all extras. if you're doing authentication only, I would have to know this, and I'd have to know declared value. If you want these extras, you got to let me know, because that's going to factor into the price. It would be easier if you just answered all of them yes or no, so that way, you know, there's no guessing. But yeah, so for me, on a normal order that I do, just so you guys are aware, because I'm going to show you some items here in a minute. I always do encapsulation. Obviously, I fill this stuff out. I don't get any of this stuff. I never do authentication, so that doesn't apply. And then I do my declared value. So then, just to add on to the extras, so any item that's 5 by 7 or larger, so we're talking like 5 inches by 7 inches, like a 5 by 7 photo, whatever. If it's larger than 5 by 7, if it's 5 by 7 or larger, I should say, then the surcharge is $10 per item. That's because they need a bigger case. So you're paying for the oversized case is what it is, okay? So say you have a 5 by 7 photo of Babe Ruth signed, and you want it encapsulated. Because it's 5 by 7 or more, whatever the cost is up here with all the stuff you get, you're going to add $10 more to it, okay? And again, I would total this all up for you, and I'd give you a quick breakdown so you know exactly what each item cost was, so you could verify it yourself, so you can see that it's all legit, and give you a total. And so it would include 5 by 7s or larger surcharges. So if you happen to have an item that's bigger than 5 by 7, just try to let me know up here. I did the asterisk, the 1 asterisk. So if you wanted to, you could probably just put like an asterisk by the line, and that'll tell me that it's 5 by 7 or bigger. I assume most people are going to be doing like cards or index cards or something like that, which would be under 5 by 7, so there's no charge. But if there's an off chance that someone's submitting like an 8 by 10 photo or something, you got to let me know so I know to add in the $10. Okay. I've been doing some work with Beckett and the local guy that's kind of over our region here. So the way it works, the way we can save money on these orders is the more orders we get, the more we can save. And it's basically mostly through the return shipping and insurance, because you're splitting that cost up. So if you were to send in 2 cards on your own, and say they're average cards, autographed, nothing special, you'd be paying like, I think it's $12 insurance automatically, and you'd be paying another $24 shipping, I believe. So that's $36 for 2 items, okay? But if you're sending in 2 items and we have a bunch coming in, a bunch of orders coming in, and say, you know, it works out to where you'd only be paying, say, $6 or $7 for the insurance and shipping together. I mean, you're saving almost $30. So a lot of the savings would be coming from the shipping and insurance. And again, it depends on how many orders we get. Also, the regional person I talked to said that depending on how big the orders are, that he would be willing to do some volume discounts for us. So I'm sure this is probably going to be like a trial by fire kind of thing. We'll probably have to submit an order or 2 or 3 or whatever, just to kind of show repetitiveness of pretty good size orders before we get a discount. That would be my guess. But if we do have pretty big orders, we can get some volume discounts, which again would save money as well. And that's what we're trying to do, is we're trying to save as much money per card authenticated as we can. And so if this does take off, if we do decide to go forward with it, if I decide to go forward with it with all you guys, if it's something that people are interested in, at the beginning, I would need, when you guys would ship me your stuff, I would need payment before I send the order out to Beckett. And the reason for that is I don't have, depending on the size, of course, I don't have all the money to front like a lot of the normal submitters have. And they've been doing it over time. So my plan would be is after a few times to be able to do that, have myself, you know, 1, understanding kind of what amounts I'm looking at for orders, 2, kind of get the system down so that everybody's on the same page, kind of get things worked out, and then hopefully be at a point to where I would just front everything and then you would pay me once the order came back in. But for starting out, I would need payments before I submit to Beckett. So you'd mail me the stuff, you'd include this information with it after we went back and forth via email, so you knew what your total was. You'd send your stuff to me, you'd include this with it, package your stuff how you want me to send it to Beckett. So however I receive it is the way that I'm going to send it. I'm going to obviously, I'll bubble wrap and I'll protect it and put it all together and make sure that it's shipped nice and clean. Some of you have gotten packages from me know I ship really, really well. It will get there safe, I promise. But I don't want to have to spend all the time going through and putting things in cases and putting things in protectors. And so however you want it sent into Beckett, send it to me, okay? I do prefer PayPal, but I will accept check or money order. If you feel more comfortable with that, that's up to you. My PayPal email, which is also my normal email, it's B as in Brandon, L as in Larry, S as in Sam, 193 at hotmail.com. And I'll post my email in the description because that's how we're going to start this anyways, is probably talking back and forth. And don't forget that if we get to the point where we're actually submitting an order and money's being transferred, don't forget that I would want it sent to me as a friend or family so that fees aren't taken out, because you know PayPal's going to take fees out if you send it another way. But this is all stuff down the line if we end up moving forward. For now, I just want to gauge interest and see what kind of orders you guys would consider or think about wanting to send in. So all I'm asking for right now is, if you're interested, just email me. You can put comments down below, but I need you to really email me because I don't want to pass information on YouTube. You need to email me at my email address, which will be in the description. And again, it's right here for you guys. Email me that you're interested, and what I'll do is I'll email you one of these forms so that you can fill it out. And I don't need you to fill this information out yet. I'll just work off of your email. Just fill out the order that you would think about sending in. That way I can look it up, get a final price for you, break it down, send it back to you so you can think about whether or not you'd want to do it. If you decide to move forward with it, let me know, hey, I'm going to send you the stuff. I'm going to mail it to you, whatever. That way, one, I can give you my mail address. Two, I'll remind you that when you mail your items in, to mail this form in with it for my records, and then you'll have to fill this top information out so that I'll have it, okay? The last thing I want is I don't want orders to get mixed up, and I don't want to try to hunt people down because, you know, I know how important your stuff is, you know, like I know how important my stuff is, and I don't want that to happen, you know? So for now, if you're interested, just shoot me an email. I'll send you this form. Send me the order that you'd want to send in. Put the information down on here. Send it back to me so that I can get you an invoice total of what you'd be looking at. And then we can move forward from there, guys, okay? I know you guys might have a lot of questions. I'm sure I didn't cover anything that I needed to cover. You know, I'm sure I left some things out. By all means, you can hit me up. We're fine with that. Be as transparent as possible. If we move forward, you know, things like sending out the tracking number of the package to Beckett, I'll get that to you guys so you guys know that it got shipped out. Setting time frames for when I need the items in so that we can get an order out to Beckett. Those sorts of things. We'll all communicate. We'll all get it out there. So, like I said, for this first part, just let me know that you're interested, and we can move forward from there, if you are interested. Nobody's under any obligation. If nobody wants to do this, then that's a quick and easy answer for me, and less work for me. If I get a bunch of people interested, we'll probably look at some decent discounts for each of us. If I don't get too much interest, I might try to help you guys out as far as like showing you how to submit. But, you know, I'm not going to try to do it for like 1 or 2 orders. I mean, it's a lot of work and a lot of due diligence on my part to make sure you guys get everything you guys have back in great condition and no issues. So I will say the question I know that'll come up is, what happens if I send in an item to be authenticated or encapsulated and it comes back deemed not authentic or too tough to tell or whatever verbiage you want to use? You are out the fee. So if it's deemed not authentic or whatever, you're out the fee. It's as if they did everything they were supposed to. You're out the fee that it costs for that item. You don't get the money back. I've missed out on every order I've submitted. I've had 1 or 2 things come back. I'm just out the money. That's just part of the game. You had an expert look at it, they deemed it not authentic, you still pay for their time, you still pay for what would have been the encapsulation. It is what it is. So that's the chance you take with autographs. So what I wanted to do before I wrapped it up is I'll put that there. I wanted to show you some things that I've gotten graded, stuff that you guys have seen before, but I wanted to show you how some of the sizing works, because I have some different sized stuff here, okay? So the first thing I have is I have your standard card, and you can see this is the Jerry Rice I got back, and this is the label they'll put on. They'll tell you the card name, the year, they'll give you the number in the set, the name of the person, they'll put authentic autograph, and they'll give you the number so that if you do a lookup on Beckett, it'll come up with all the information for this card. They put it in the normal Beckett thick plastic cases, which I prefer, I like. And then they have the normal label on the back. Okay, looks similar to their graded cards, but it's just talking about authentic autograph and gives you the card information. Standard card. Okay, I do photos, as a lot of you guys know. So this is a 4x6 photo. You'll see how it fits in this case. And 5x7 photos will also go in this case. So index cards, 3x5, 4x6, 4x6 photos, 5x7 photos, 5x7 items, maybe a ticket even depending on the size. As long as it fits in this case, then you're fine. You won't get upcharged. So this is a Charlie Joyner autograph, and you can see it's the same as Jerry Rice. It says photograph right there, Charlie Joyner. Authentic autograph with the number, so you can look it up. They put it in the clear plastic sleeve, protective sleeve inside the hard case, and that's the back of the identifying card there. So that's the 4x6 photo, and I'll just show you. This is the regular card compared to that. Okay, they do a fantastic job. It's a thick case. Makes the photos look really nice and presentable, and it's authenticated, of course, which is why we're doing what we do. So I'll put that there. Then next I have, let me measure this really quick to make sure. I want to say it's an 8 by, yeah, it's an 8 by 11.5 photo. So this is an 8 by 11.5 photo. It's a Dan Fouts. You can see I'm trying to get this whole thing in. See, this thing is big. The case is a little bit thinner, but I think they do that because it's such a big case. So that's that. This is the card. You can see the card's case is a little bit thicker. But it's 8 by 10 plastic encapsulation. You can see again, it says photograph Dan Fouts, authentic autograph, has a number for a lookup. It's presented really well. It's got Beckett authentication services spelled out because there's so much room up there. You flip it around and you can see the back is the same on this label as it was on the 5x7 case, 4x6 case. So there's the 8 by 10 or 8 by 11.5. I'm sorry. And then the last thing I've gotten is I've gotten a program done. And this program is about 9 inches by a foot maybe. And this is a super thick case. So you can see this is a publication. And this was a Blazer program signed by Maurice Lucas. This was a publication, super thick. Let me show you the label. So you see the label says program, Maurice Lucas authentic autograph, has the number for lookup. Flip it around. There's the back of the label so you guys can see that. So I'm thinking that those of you who have like Sports Illustrated signed or whatever like that would probably come in something like this. It's a super thick case. I mean, it's like a half an inch thick. Let's see here. Yeah, it's about a half inch thick. Half inch thick plastic. Looks good. So those are the different sizes I've gotten authenticated through Beckett. Again, I think it's a great value. I mean, I do like Beckett. I know some people don't. That's okay. We all have differences, which is why there's different companies in business. But anyways, guys, I know this video's been long. I just wanted to throw it out there. So again, if anybody's interested, email me in my email below in the description. First thing would be is I would just send you this. Just ask you to fill it out. What you'd want to send in. Let me get you back a total, and then we would go from there. Okay, guys? And the more people we can get in on this, the more we would save. So anyways, glad to hear some feedback. Pros, cons, doesn't matter. Hope you guys all have a great evening. Hope you guys have a blessed evening. Until our next video, see ya.